that worked much better. So you're supposed to just rub it on like a glue stick, and it feels exactly like a glue stick. Oh yeah, can't wait to get this engine built. Welcome back, Fast Monty's Garage. We're now on step 9 of our rebuild process, and we get to put the timing cover on. So last episode, if you missed it, we put the cam in and set our timing using a degree wheel. That actually was intensive, and so thanks for hanging out if you sat through that whole thing. So today I'm just going to do the timing chain cover. Keep it short and sweet, right? So do me a favor, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't, because there's several more steps here in our rebuild process. I want to get back in the goat and start driving it again. So let's go through what you need for this episode. Timing chain cover. Duh. Now, those of you that have been paying attention, you probably noticed it's painted. I actually did a separate video on how to mask, just a generic how to mask video. That's it right there, where I masked this part, which was a very thorough process of all the different types of masking techniques that you can use on any project at home. So check it out if you haven't. No worries if you don't. The other thing you need is your gasket set. We're going to have to pull a gasket out of there and your front main seal and get some RTV sealer. So depending on your block, if this area is pitted, or mine is, I'm going to put some RTV there. You're going to need these 4 bolts or studs. Depends on what your setup is, but mine require bolts. My studs are actually at the top. What else do we need? Torque wrench. We're going to do 15 pounds foot torque on these bolts here. And most importantly, you're going to need these little sleeves that go in here that line up the timing cover correctly over the crank snout. And I will show you those in more detail in a minute. And the next step here is to put the front main seal into the timing cover. So I'll meet you at the workbench. All right, team. So before we put the timing chain cover on, we have to put the front main seal in. And this is actually found in your gasket set. And if you notice on this bottom edge, as we press this in, this bottom edge here gets rolled up into this edge of the bearing, of the bushing. What I like to do is put a really tiny amount of RTV sealer, which is this stuff here, ultra black, right on the lip, just a tiny amount. So I'm going to put a little bit on, wipe off the excess, and then I'm going to make sure we have a good fit as far as being level. And I like to use a piece of wood, so this is just a piece of wood I found in the shop. And I'll put it on here, and then use my attitude adjuster and slightly work my way around to make sure I get a good, nice, even press fit. Oh, sorry about that, guys. So I was banging on the workbench and knocked about almost everything off my workbench. So I actually put it on the down on the cement, and that worked much better. So if we get a little close up here, you can see we have a nice flush fit all the way around, and even got some RTV sealer to start squeezing out, which means we got a good seal. So we're good to go. Alright, now that our front main seal is in, let's go ahead and put our gasket down. Now, from your gasket set, you're going to have this gasket. And what we're going to try today is something new I haven't tried before. This is a Loctite, like a gasket stick. You're supposed to just rub it on your gasket and it helps stick to the gasket to whatever your mating part is. So we're going to give that a shot. And these are the retaining clips I told you about. So these go in the bottom two holes, and we'll put those in after we get our gasket on. So that being said, here's our gasket. And I flipped it over, obviously. And I'm going to go try and give this a shot here. So you're supposed to just rub it on like a glue stick, so it feels like I'm in first grade again. Oh, it's interesting. And it feels exactly like a glue stick. It's pretty interesting. So I'm just going to cover everything. Okay, so that's all down. I paid particular attention to our water jackets. I want to make sure those are covered nicely. I don't want any of that sticky stuff on my paint. Let's see how this works. And now's the time to put our sleeves in. So let's put our sleeves in. That should be a nice little slip fit. Now that stuff felt really sticky. I'm almost thinking I could use it on to seal the block area, but instead I'm going to go back to the block and put RTV in the matching hole area. Alright, back to the block. I went ahead and put RTV right around these holes because my block is pitted a bit. I added some RTV, just a very little bit around that existing gasket. We have to be mindful of the centering holes, so that's what we're going to use first to mount. But most importantly, before I forget, make sure your timing dot is straight up. That means you're firing on number 1 when we set up our distributor, so don't forget that. I also doused this in my break-in oil, so that's nice and covered. And here we go. My pins are lined up. Just need to put my bolts in. Okay, next step is torque, 15 pound-feet. Alright, should be good. Oh yeah, now we're playing with fire, right? Woo! I can't wait to get this engine built. Thanks for being here today, guys. Hope you learned something a little bit. I want to keep this video short, so subscribe if you haven't. And next part, part 10, we're going to do rebuild the oil pump. Haven't done that yet. It's really easy. Actually, don't be scared. And put the oil pan on. And then we can start building the top end again. So again, thanks for being here. And you know the drill. Build them fast. Drive them faster. See ya.